What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Metal Cardbot Sky Gallop. So this was also sent to me by Agabyss. Thanks for allowing me to take a look. This is another Season 2 character. So we've been looking at both Season 1 and Season 2 kind of interchangeably. So I don't have the packaging for this one since it's a later season. But again, this will be available from Agabyss's website. I'll put the link in the description, as well as a link to the show on YouTube so you can watch and kind of learn about these characters. Now, here's his card. It is called Sky Gallop because he turns into a Pegasus, which is pretty crazy. But here's the power-up, the metal card that has his add-on. And this one's interesting. It's not a weapon, right? It kind of transforms him. But this one is pretty cool because it turns into a jet. So you can kind of see parts of the jet. But he does have a lot of nice paint detail. He got metallic green paint, gold paint, black paint, red stripes, more green down here, black paint, red accents. The gold really looks nice. It's a nice color scheme. You also got some paint here on the wings. Overall, it's a pretty good looking figure. Let's go over the articulation. Head is on a ball joint, just like the rest. Goes forward and backward. This one's a little bit more limited than the others, forward and backward, but side to side, you get plenty. And rotates around. It really looks like a Gundam head. I like that design a lot, especially like the metallic. That's very Gundam-esque. Shoulders rotate around on a ratchet joint. Up to the side on friction, and there's two joints. So this goes up to here, and then the shoulder itself goes up to here. You can combine them together. Rotation at the bicep at a ratchet joint. You have a single joint elbow. Is it single? Yeah. It gets you past 90 degrees. There is no real hand per se. It is sculpted in right here, but you can't move it or anything. It's just kind of part of that piece of his body. But at least it is sculpted fingers. There is no waist rotation or ab crunch on this particular model. Hip skirts move out of the way. Legs will kick up to there on a ratchet. Back to here, hindered by his backpack. Out to the side on a ratchet. You have no rotation at the thigh, but you have rotation at the knee. You have a double jointed knee, so it bends here and here. So combining the two together, we can get basically up to there. So definitely past 90. It's a little awkward the way it works, but and then down here you have this on a ratchet as well, and then the toe is on a ratchet, so it ratchets forward. And when you put it back down, you just want to make sure you have the clicks kind of lined up. Otherwise, you'll have a hard time getting him to stand. He does have sort of pre-posed ankle tilts. This one doesn't have ankle tilts built in. It does have a pre-posed, so you can kind of get him out to a stance sort of naturally. All right, let's take a look at the accessories. We get this wing, which it does turn into a weapon, but I don't have instructions. I forgot to mention that when I was doing the review for the Flash Vector. But I don't see a spot where this stores other than maybe right here. You could kind of do something like this where it integrates back into the back of the wings. Again, that's maybe a fan mode. I don't think it actually was meant to do that, but you can kind of hide it back there. But it's really meant to take this, fold it in half. And there's a handle right here that'll fit into this hand, or either hand. And now he's got this sword, which is kind of cool. But the bigger deal is his metal card. So if you take this off, you'll see there's a whole assembly here. We can rotate this back, rotate down the foot. Same with this. Rotate down the foot and extend your tail out. You can see it's definitely looking like a horsey. Come to the back. This will plug in right here. You'll see the two little pegs and two little clips. So just push that in firmly. And here you go. Here is Pegasus mode. That's so funny that they, give him a third mode for his power up. I do think it looks cool. You do get articulation on these. So they swing forward and backward. They swing out to the side. You get kind of a wider stance. And then you get a bend here. Everything's on a ratchet on this. The tail also can go up and down. It's just really interesting that his power up turns him into a Pegasus. And you can also angle these wings back. I forgot to mention that. They can angle back to there or can be straight out. I like to put it one click back, like right there. I think that looks best. And for size comparison, there he is next to Blue Star. So you can see it's a pretty big figure. This is one of the bigger ones that were sent to me. And yeah, he kind of towers over Blue Star here. All right, now let's get him transformed into his jet mode. Go ahead and remove this from here. And take this, fold down these top parts, and this is going to make the wing. Just set that aside for the moment. We're going to have to unplug this, and this does not integrate into the vehicle mode, so you can just kind of fold it back up, put everything away, and if you want, you can even reattach the card. Oh, sorry, it goes on this side. And there's two smaller pegs and two bigger pegs, so just line them up. And I got that wrong side. Here we go. All right, we can set this aside for now. And let's take care of this guy. Open up the chest. Fold the head in. Close up the chest. We will take the arms. They will flip up. You can line this up and then rotate this around. Same on this side. Flip this up. Rotate around and then peg the two halves together like that. We can take this section here and this will fold down and tab in to here. Make sure you have this, this part straight. This will come down and tab in there and make the front of the nose cone. Flip the wings around and just straighten them up. Then we can take the legs and flip this to the inside. We'll rotate the leg around, flip the toe up, and then do the same thing for this side. Flip this around, rotate the leg, flip the toe up. Then we can bring this down like this. Peg these together on the bottom and the top. This will fold up and clip in right here. And all we're missing now is the tail fin. And there are two little nubbins that you're attaching to. So get it into the nubbins. And then close up this, the hip skirts, and then come to the bottom and open up this landing gear. All right, there is Sky Gallop in jet mode. And I really like how this looks. I just think it's so cool. I love that the eyes are a little more subtle. Just like the Flash Vector, right? It was just kind of not as obvious as some of the other characters. A nice red stripe down the side. Paint on the wings. Black and white paint. You got the gold paint down here. Triple wheels on the back, one wheel on the front. It does roll on those wheels. Big tail fin. Almost looks like a killer whale a little bit, the way it's done. Here's the bottom. It doesn't really have any, weapon integration. You can't really plug this in anywhere, but you can kind of play with the wings. So he has a little bit of adjustability, but overall, I just really like the look of this jet. All right, for size comparison, there it is next to the Flash Vector IndyCar vehicle. And like I mentioned in my previous review, they're not really meant to scale with each other. They're just each kind of their own vehicle. So final recommendations on the Metal Cardbot Sky Gallop. This is another really cool one. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. I'll recommend it. The gimmick and the metal card is an entire new back of the figure. This is cool. So you get two modes. You get robot mode and you get, Pegasus mode. The alt mode again is awesome. I love the jet. It's just like the IndyCar. This one really just appeals to me. The eyes are more subtle on this one, so I also like that. I get the fact that the characters, the vehicles are actually alive and they have a personality, so they need the eyes. But the design on this one, it just lends itself to being a more subtle thing, and it just makes sense. The cockpit being the eyes, so it kind of works. So yeah, overall, this is kind of another one of my favorites. I would say, season 2 definitely has more favorites for me than season 1. But we'll continue taking a look at these figures. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
TM Reviews. What's up, YouTube fans?